Hey everybody, Wiley here. I want to give you an update on things related to our proposed programming, class structure, and a lot of the feedback or a lot of the answers rather to a lot of the feedback that you all have given us related to reopening. First of all, there's no message to be made here if you all weren't the incredible people that you are and still supporting us to stick by us and give us the opportunity to reopen whenever that date comes. I also want to be clear, we do not know at this point when the date of reopening the gym is going to be. As soon as we know that, we'll share that with you. What we do want to work on is sharing what we look at the proposed program structure to be, the layout of the gym, how all those pieces are going to kind of fit together. I'm going to try to address as many of those things in one video as I can, so bear with me as we work through all that. But again, thank you for making it possible. I want to start with the cleaning of the gym. Let's kick things off there. The gym is now going to be set up differently. There's going to be a different layout really throughout the majority of the gym. A lot of that's going to allow for increased spacing between members, designated areas for working out, designated areas for walking, and we're going to take you through physically how those stations are going to look. Each athlete station is going to have a bottle of cleaning product sanitizer as well as a towel to clean equipment. When you're through with your station, at the end of it, you'll wipe down your things, you'll then take your towel out of the room, you'll chuck it in a bin, and that'll be this process for each athlete to clean. We'll have a separate video on physically how to clean your things, but each one will have a cleaning station. At the end of each class, the coach is going to make sure that each station has been taken care of. Twice a day, we're going to disinfect the whole facility. So the entire floor, the bathrooms, and after each class, all the major touch points are going to get hit. The stairwells, the doorways, all the things that you might be grabbing onto or touching when you're coming in and out of the facility itself. So that's where the cleaning process comes from. I'm happy to answer more questions if people really want to get into the weeds with that. Researched a lot about cleaners lately. So next part of it, getting into the programming structure. And this is the thing that a lot of you have had questions about. So I want to start to kind of explain how all this is going to work. For one, for the programming and the way it needs to look, if we were to say, all right, let's throw you all back into the last week of March programming when you walk back in the door, whenever that is, hopefully soon, right? That would be extremely irresponsible as a gym. We need to consider where the majority of you all are at now, the training that you've been doing at home, and being able to bring you back responsibly into this type of environment, this type of training, right? But that's something that we take very seriously, and it's your health that you're trusting us with, so we're going to structure classes a little bit differently as a result of that. Also, the classes are going to be smaller, so we're going to be able to blend these programming objectives with the layout of classes. We will open back up with a workout of the day class for 8 people per session. That will be a 6 a.m., an 8 a.m., a noon, a 4:30, and a 6:30. That will allow for enough time for one 45-minute class to come in, work out, clean, and change the facility over before we reopen for the next class to come in and be able to do their programming. Liberty Barbell Club will operate off of a 3-day-a-week coach schedule of sessions on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday morning and evenings. Those sessions will be from 6 to 7:30 in the morning and from 4:30 to 6 p.m. And I'll get into class caps for that as well. LBC sessions will be 6 people. We recognize that there are a lot of you want to get in for classes. We also recognize that coming from what you've been doing to throwing you back into 7 days a week of strength training would not be a responsible move to do as a gym. Here's how we're going to address those two things. For your workout of the day, you're going to have 2 options. You can come in and do the traditional kind of workout of the day structure as it's written, right? And our objective for you is to take that session 3 days per week. It's not going to be tied, any one movement is not going to be tied to any one day. So it's not like on Mondays you're always going to squat and on Tuesdays you're always going to pull. It's going to rotate because we realize that your schedules are going to be different. We're also going to maintain our at-home programming throughout all of this, and we're still going to keep a Zoom class once per day. So if you still want to do this from home, you still want to follow along, you'll get the option. Now, like we said, we want you to do the workout of the day, ideally about 3 times per week as you build back into things. So what do you do on the other days? New program. It's called Sustain. Sustain is going to be 3 days of written endurance workouts per week that will either be done on separate bike stations that are going to be in the back, that are also going to be separated out and apart, but that's also programming that's designed for nicer weather that if you wanted to do it at home, you could. But we feel that by balancing a workout of the day, primarily strength-driven class with some conditioning, with as well as a Sustain program, Both it gives you the opportunity to do some of these things outside of the gym if you wanted to, but it allows us to spread things out in here so that there is enough space for everybody to get what they need, and also an appropriate amount of programming and an appropriate stress level for you all. That's something that, again, like I said, we put a lot of time and energy into. Our Elevate program is going to remain online for the time being, and that's until we figure out space considerations and able to get everybody what they need. We're committed to that program. We want to make it and continue to be a big part of the gym, but it's something we need to continue to have online for now, Tuesdays and Thursdays. So that's the programming structure. I'm also going to write this out and have it all there so you can kind of go back and see how all this stuff's going to work. What that will allow for us to do is to have, in a given hour, the maximum capacity of folks in the gym, including coaches. You'd have 8 people in a class, and then you would have another, we'd be looking at a maximum of 18 people in the gym at any one time. You may remember from before, sometimes we had that in a single class. It's gonna be a lot of space, and I wanna show you now kind of how some of that stuff is gonna work. The layout of the gym is gonna look like this. So if you look behind me, you can see some grid lines on the floor. Each athlete is going to have a 10 by 10 foot section. There's also going to be designated lanes in between those sections. That's what you can see, right? How does this work? Right there and there? Great, never would have been a weatherman. Okay, each athlete's going to have that. In each area, there's going to be a designated pull-up area. There's also going to be a designated handstand area. When you come in for class, coaches are going to have the equipment that you're going to need pretty much set up. If you need something additional, the coach is going to grab it for you. But you're then going to kind of hang out in your box. In your zone is going to be a cubby. In that cubby, you're going to have a foam roller, lacrosse ball, 2 bands, as well as then your cleaning station and your rag, which you'll have for each class. What that's going to allow is for a self-contained station here that we can keep that clean and sanitized, and also you have everything that you need so you can walk right in, get right to your zone, and start working out. When folks come into the gym, I want to talk just briefly about how that process is going to work. There won't be people coming and going for different classes at the same time. Because classes to start with will be spread out, one group of people will come in, either go to the back or come to the front, and then that will spread people out that way. So there will never be more for now than 8 people in the front, 8 athletes in the front, and 8 athletes in the back of the gym. For the layout of how it's going to work coming down. So bear with me here. When folks come down the stairs, yes, the stairs are still here. They didn't go anywhere. We weren't able to fix that. You'll come down, and this part is going to be blocked off. This is just going to be an entryway for air circulation, but athletes are not going to come in and out of here because people, as you can see in the grids, are going to be working out there, all right? So you're going to come down the stairs, right? So I walk down. How's this work? I come down the hallway. You will notice now that the chairs aren't here because though we love you, we can't have you hanging out here for extended periods of time. When you get down here to the end of the hallway, if you use the ladies' locker room, you'll go in there. If you don't, there's a mirror that's up on the wall so that you can spot this corner because this is how you're going to come in and out of the gym. Down here on the floor, you have arrows that are set up as to how to proceed from this position. The white tape demonstrates where you'll walk, and then the gray tape inside is going to demonstrate where the athlete zones are going to be. So what you'll do, you'll follow the arrows. This will only be for exiting LBC. You'll come down here. If you're going to the locker room, for the men's locker room, you'll go down there and up. Our gender neutral changing station is still up those stairs. If you're entering class, you will enter through here, and then you will proceed to your box. That will allow you then to come in, get warmed up, get ready to go before class, and you'll be all good. If you need things, a coach will be happy to get that for you. If you're doing our other program, you'll come up here. This will be the entryway into LBC. You will then come up to there, and this is where the sustain program will be located. So you'll grab one of these bikes. They're all separated with an appropriate amount of space, and then that will be where the endurance sessions take place. If you are coming in for an LBC session, you will be in the back, right? There will be 6-person LBC sessions, and then potentially up to 5 people on the bikes. Those sessions will not happen at the same time. If there is LBC open gym time, that will be for 4 athletes, and that would mean there would be 4 spaces for the bikes, meaning there are never more than 8 people in this part of the gym, or 8 people in this part of the gym up here. That's the structure for now. That may change in the future, but that's what we feel is responsible. To exit LBC, you'll go down the ramp. You won't go this way because there's arrows. That's why they're there. You got to follow them. All right. So that's the layout of the gym, how we propose to clean, how we propose to program. We're excited to be able to roll that out. Again, we don't know when exactly the date for that's going to be or when, but we're excited that we have a plan, and we hope that this helps you to start to visualize what the gym is going to look like, how things are going to be. There's going to be more specific information around class signups and all of that, but I wanted to give some information around the programming, class caps, how everything's going to work. If you have additional questions, please reach out. Please let me know so that we can answer those and potentially address any other concerns you might have. Hang in there. You're doing great. We'll talk to you soon.